second item, the Pledge of Allegiance. If everyone would please rise and look at the flag just behind the dais. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next item, of course, is the approval of the agenda itself, and I would accept a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I put forward a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second, please.
Motion and second have been made. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. That brings us to public comments. Do we have any public comment for today? Seeing none, we can go ahead and close that item as well. That brings us to old business. We do not have any items of old business, so we can go ahead and move on to approving our previous meeting's agenda, the approval of the September 23rd, 2025 regular meeting minutes, and I would accept a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I put forth a motion to approve the meeting minutes from September 23rd, 2025 as presented.
Second.
Motion second been made. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Okay, moving fast. The only real item that we have on new business is, of course, an emergency relocation of the Morning Creek precinct. Of course, you know, we enjoy consistency in our precincts all the time for voter access, voter consistency. But of course, when things happen, we do need to step in and ensure that the voters are served as best as we can. So I'll hand it over to Director Garrett to explain a little bit, and I believe we have a pretty fair, reasonable solution in order to make sure that everyone has access to the polls. So, Director Garrett?
Greetings, Board. As you all know, we did have to move our Morning Creek location, which is located at New Hope Baptist Church. They have closed one of their locations, and I want to say south as I try to find it.
What?
They have closed their south location.
I believe
is
that's
that
the
right,
north
Mr. Moore?
location.
It's the north.
The northern, yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. They have closed their north location, which has caused us to have to move that location to another precinct. So we're within the time frame for having to bring it before the board, and it's considered an emergency. So we have moved it to precinct number.
It was Oak Ridge, right?
Thank you so much. We have moved it to Oak Ridge, and they will share a facility, so they will cohabitate inside of one polling location. However, I do want to bring to light that after this election is over, we will need to find a permanent location for that polling location. So in January, we will hold a hearing after I bring forth some more information for you at the next board meeting, and then we'll hold a hearing in January because we will be within our regulations of when you can and cannot change a polling location for the May election, with hopes that we do not hold an election in March. Do you have any questions for me regarding the emergency relocation, et cetera?
Is Oak Ridge where, I'm trying to think, it's the Fayetteville Christian Church, is that right? Is that Oak Ridge?
No, I don't think is it? Is
it
that Oak Ridge
the
the
one
name
right
of
down
the?
the street from,
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking. I'm thinking Oak Ridge was on my list at the last election to go to, and I think it wasn't far from north, from,
they're closing the whole church?
yes, they are.
I'm looking at their website. And they're closing and moving everything to the South Campus.
Yeah.
So they'll only have one campus? Holy smokes.
And the Oak Ridge location is Fayette Friendship Community Church.
Okay.
Fayette Christian,
Fayette Friendship.
Friendship? Okay.
Friendship, yeah.
You all are so great for knowing your county. I'm still learning and keeping up. Any other questions for me?
Any other questions for Director Garrett? Okay, Okay, well, with that, I would accept a motion on the emergency relocation of precinct number 8, Morning Creek.
Put forth a motion to approve the new precinct going into, the additional precinct going into Oak Ridge.
Second.
Motion and second been made. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next item is the public hearing, staff's challenges to remove registered Fayette County voters from the electors list who are registered in the state of Georgia Secretary of State voter registration system as deceased, mentally incompetent, canceled, or felon. Of course, we have very little authority in this regard. Is there any action from the board needed at this moment, Director Garrett?
There is no action. I would like to give my report.
Mhm.
So up until October 24th, we had, and this report is also in your packet. I'll just be reading those numbers out loud. We had, for deceased, 88 voters canceled, duplicates 35, 121 moved out of state, 2 for no general election cycles, and 3 voter requested, resulting in a grand total of 248 removals for last board meeting up until Friday, October 24th. Thank you.
Thank you. I guess you could go ahead and keep the floor if you wanted to begin your director's report, Director Garrett.
Greetings, board. As you all know, we are wrapping up the last week of advanced voting. It's going so fast. As of October 27th, there are 98,319 registered voters in Fayette County. LNA test is still underway, and just so, I guess, to provide education, LNA goes literally up until about Saturday, Sundays, because we do have the LNA, our poll pass as well, and wait on that database from the Secretary of State. As far as absentee, we received a total of 241 applications, and a total of 235 absentee by mail ballots have been issued. Additionally, as of yesterday, we had 8,500 voters. 8,052 voters in Fayette County. Our poll worker training has commenced, and that is looking very well for us. And we will also be having our risk limiting audit on November 13th at 10 a.m. at the Fayette County Library. Our Citizen Academy went very well, very, very well. We didn't have a lot of questions, surprisingly, so I'm going to assume that we presented enough information for everyone to be content for now. But it went very well, and it also gave people in the office the opportunity to present to the public. And outside of that, that concludes my director's report. Do you all have any questions?
Any questions for Director Garrett?
No, I don't have.
Okay, well, seeing no questions, we can go ahead and move on to the attorney's report. Anything for us, Patrick?
I do not have anything.
Thank you. Okay, and that brings us to board members' reports. Have anything for us?
No, I pass.
You know I can't pass.
Vice
Boy,
Chair
I know.
Alexander.
Whatever.
One thing I want us to consider as a board is over the years, there has been, over the years, it appears that there has been a big part of our duties under 21-2-70 have been assigned to the elections officials. And it's my understanding that when we do something like that, when we delegate a duty that is ours, which is fine, we can do that, but we need to do it through a board resolution or like a policies and procedures that goes along with the bylaws. And the reason that I'm asking that we consider that or discuss it is because there have been a couple of times when I've had questions and I've gone back and literally read all the minutes all the way back to 2012. And there are a number of items that have just been taken over to the elections officials, And I feel that we should have something in writing. Have no problem that we we can delegate the responsibility. We cannot delegate the authority, which is ours under duties. So I have asked Patrick if we could come up with some kind of wording. I'm not asking to go in the bylaws, because that would be a pain. But I believe within our bylaws, there's the ability to have a policies and procedures, like manual. And all we would do is we would take those duties that we have assigned beyond the day-to-day operations. That's theirs anyway. We don't do any of that. But if we make a board resolution that says it's theirs, like we did in April, I believe of this year, we did a board resolution that said that we were going to delegate the part of the 21-2-70 that was poll worker selection and training. We delegated that to the director or to the elections office, and we voted to do that. I feel that when we do something like that, for clarity, future boards, et cetera, that we need to have that put forward so you don't have to go back and try to read 13 years of minutes to find out who did it or whether they did it. So I just want us to put that on an item for us to consider and discuss. And beyond that, I'm fine.
What are these duties?
Well, if you go and look at 21-2-70 here, there are about 15 duties that are assigned to the superintendent. And we, the board, are the superintendent. It's not the elections office. It's ours. And so among those are, theoretically, there are things like what we delegated, which was assigning or picking the poll workers and doing their training. And they do an excellent job of that anyway. But there were other things that, like we certify, of course, the results. We are supposed to look at the budget. And I could read, I mean, if you want me to go through, there's about 14.
No, that's okay. I'll look at it.
Okay, and it's just called out duties that around the state, the board has that responsibility to do it. I'm fine with anything we want to take over there. I just think we need to have it in writing so that future boards, if they have questions like I have, like I continually ask about the budget, and it's in there as a duty that we're supposed to review the budget, not approve it, that goes to the county, but that we should review it. And for the past 2 years since I've been on the board, we haven't. I haven't. And it's just giving clarity of what we've delegated over there. Does that make sense, what I'm saying?
Yeah, that seems fair. I would ask about the legality, of course. Like, Patrick, could you look at that statute potentially and then see,
Well,
like...
I think what Ms. Alexander is talking about is having actual resolutions whenever the board makes a directive. In the past, those resolutions have not been reduced to writing except through the minutes. If the board wishes to go forward with actual resolutions for each of these items, that's certainly within the board's prerogative.
But what I had asked for was, because, you know, when I talked to you about this before, you said, well, we've gone through a number of years where they didn't keep minutes or they didn't do a good job.
And that is true, yes.
And it's my understanding, if it's not in writing, you can always question, did it happen? So I believe in our bylaws, I believe it says somewhere something about in the bylaws that we can also have, I think it's called policies and procedures, which sounds to me like a manual, something that
Yeah.
not do bylaws, but there's something in the manual that says we've discussed it, we voted on it, that they kind of go hand in hand so that you don't have to go back and say, well, they didn't keep good minutes, or, you know, that happened 10 years ago.
Yeah,
So-
definitely. I think that's fair. I'd be open to discussing that
Okay,
in the future, definitely.
cool. All right, thank you.
Okay, let's see. Just a few things for me. I know, just for the public's awareness, you know, staffing not just an elections office, but every single precinct is not ever easy. So just first of all, kudos to the staff, to Brianna, to everyone in the office for getting all our poll workers trained, getting backups for election day itself. Excuse me. I know we're in a good spot, in a good position to handle this election cleanly, efficiently, and then put this one behind us. We can look forward to 2026. And one other point of kudos, I have to say congratulations, thank you, which is not nearly enough, to our chief registrar, of course, Beverly Daniel, who is always a graceful person who has done really good work here, and who I think is probably the smartest person for 100 miles around. A fantastic mother, fantastic wife to some awesome children who give back all the time to our local community here. And actually, one of her children is actually a teacher at my alma mater high school, just got hired over there. So congratulations to her, and thank you so much for your contributions to our county and to our election department, and making sure that, you know, all of us here on the board have a really easy job. But seriously, thank you is not nearly enough. But with that, I don't believe we need any executive session. So with that, I would be open to a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chairman, I present a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second is not required for that, so I would ask for discussion. Seeing none, call the vote. All in favor of adjournment, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. We're adjourned. Thank you all.